Hi, friends, and welcome. This is Lavender Sky Panther with you on Sunday, November 12th, 2023. First, before I even get into this reading today, there's going to be a card read at the very end, which is a bonus card. And the actual reading is going to be a literal reading of one of my favorite childhood stories that I happen to have in 3 different editions. One is in English, one is in German, and one is in Spanish. So I'm going to read an excerpt from the book in the 3 different languages. So I hope you enjoy it. Now, also, before I get into that, I want to just say that one of the reasons why I'm reading this, I was just kind of strongly led to try something out in some different languages. A very dear friend also gave me kind of the starting of a really good idea to do this, a related idea. So I thank her. She knows who she is. But the point of this too is that I want to, the title of this reading is going to be something like "Happiness Is," because we'll see in the story, what's happiness for this character, which I'll show you in a second. But also, I want to start this off in the different languages to remind us that there are no barriers between all of us, human beings, loving, living human beings on this earth. So this is a reminder to have peace in your heart and your mindset. Do not be fooled by outside images and propaganda. Really feel into things and feel what feels true and clicks with you as true. Remember that humanity is being controlled by some other force of the dark, not of the light. And so just remember that as we go forward, and don't let your eyes deceive you, like the old Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi line. Your eyes can deceive you, don't trust them. It's a matter of feeling into your heart what is of love and what is not. So listen not to the words. In this case, I'm going to be reading things, but listen in if it feels right to you, and look at the images and find the loving meaning in it. And if you don't, then it's just not for you. But in this case, I'm taking the kind of the core message which I'm finding in the book of being, what is your happy place? Where is your happiness? And follow your intuition no matter what everyone else is doing. If they're zigging and you want to zag, then that's what you do. If you're zigging and they're all zagging, then, own it and know that if you follow your inner spark, that little God spark and your intuition, that's what we're here to do. And do not worry about what others are doing or not doing. Just key into yourself and live your own life and be the example for what you wish to see in the world. Okay, so that being said, do bear with me. I'm a little rusty. I don't speak Spanish or German anymore. I used to know it pretty fluently, both of them. I speak German maybe once a year in a good conversation, in Spanish, if that. So I do tend to have a good memory for recall for some of the languages. But again, bear with me if I flub up here and there. My main message is no matter where you are in the world, no matter what language you speak, even if we didn't say one word and looked at each other and didn't know where each other is from, you can just feel that energy field and feel if that person is of love or if there's something else going on there, right? Or that love got commandeered somehow. And that's all I'm going to, say for now. Of course, I always sign off with tremendous peace and love to you. So we'll open it up with tremendous peace and love to you. And let's get going. So I'm just going to read the excerpt from each book straight up and pull a card at the very end. That's what we're going to do today. So first up, in English, the Story of Ferdinand by Munro Leaf. And it's drawings by Robert Lawson. Again, if I didn't mention it, it was copyrighted, I believe, in 1936. I have the bonus card, if I didn't mention it already. Pardon me if I have. I've done a few takes already just to make sure my voice is ready to run on this. We're going to use a card that is a black and white, kind of cover on it, on the back of the deck cards. So because you'll see the drawings in this book, if you're not familiar with it, are all in black and white, which stood out as a child because everything was colorful. And even though it was black and white, I even then really loved the illustrations, how they were done. So hold on, before I go there, I'll read the covers of the other books so I don't have to do it later. So the German version just says Munro Leaf, but it would be pronounced Ferdinand. And then it has Zeichnungen von Robert Lawson, so drawings by or illustrations by Robert Lawson. And then we get to the Spanish version, and it says Edición Española, El Cuento de Ferdinando, por Munro Leaf. And then we have Traducción del inglés por Pura Belpre, and we have ilustraciones de Robert Lawson. So this just means traducción means translation to English by that person. Okay, so let's get into it, and bear with me if I struggle to like prop up the book and stuff. Some of the binding is stiff on some of these books and not the other. So give me a moment. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll read it and also pan slowly over the illustration. So here we go. You know, when I first was introduced to this book as a small child, you know, of course, the fantasy is there with clouds and the castle on the top of the hill or the little, you know, peak there. And we have a beautiful little countryside in Spain. So that kicks off our setting. We're out in the country with the cows, etc. So once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He liked to just sit quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. "Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head?" she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. "I like it better here, where I can sit just quietly and smell the flowers." His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. And I want to repeat that. She let him just sit there and be happy because she was an understanding mother. Okay, well, that's it for the English portion. And maybe there was something in there that meant something to you or just kind of clicked with you as I read that. Okay, so now we're going to get to the German version. Jetzt fangen wir auf Deutsch. Okay. Es war einmal in Spanien. Da lebte eine junge Stier, der hieß Ferdinand. All die anderen jungen Stiere, mit denen er aufwuchs, liefen und schwangen den ganzen Tag umher und stupsten sich gegenseitig mit den Köpfen. Nicht so, Ferdinand. Er saß am liebsten einfach ruhig da und beschnupperte die Blumen. Draußen auf der Weide hatte er seinen Lieblingsplatz unter einer Korkeiche. Am liebsten saß er den ganzen Tag im Schatten dieses Baumes und schnupperte den Duft der Blumen. Seine Mutter, eine Kuh, machte sich manchmal Sorgen um ihn. Sie fürchtete, er könnte sich einsam fühlen, so ganz allein. Warum läufst du nicht umher und spielst und balgst dich mit den anderen jungen Stieren? Fragte sie ihn fragte sie ihn dann. Aber Ferdinand schüttelte immer den Kopf. Mir gefällt es besser hier, wo ich einfach ruhig da sitzen und die Blumen beschnuppern kann. Seine Mutter merkte, dass er sich nicht einsam fühlte, und da sie zwar nur eine Kuh, aber eine verständnisvolle Mutter war, ließ sie ihn gewähren und glücklich sein. Okay, das war es jetzt. Okay, now we're moving on to Spanish, the Spanish version. Okay, ahora en español. En España había una vez un torito que se llamaba Ferdinando. Todos los otros toritos con quienes él vivía corrían y brincaban y se daban topetadas. Pero Ferdinando no. Le gustaba sentarse en simple quietud y oler las flores. Tenía un lugar favorito afuera, Tenía un lugar favorito afuera en la pradera debajo de un alcornoque. Era su árbol favorito y él pasaba el día a la sombra oliendo las flores. A veces su madre, quien era una vaca, se preocupaba por él. Temía que estaba triste tan solo. ¿Por qué no corres y juegas con los otros toritos? ¿Por qué no saltas y topetas la cabeza? Le decía. Pero Ferdinando respondía, moviendo negativamente la cabeza. Prefiero quedarme aquí donde puedo sentarme en simple quietud y oler las flores. Su madre se dio en cuenta de que él no estaba triste y como era una madre entendida, aunque era una vaca, le dejó sentado y muy contento. Ok, eso es para hoy. Okay, everyone, that was it. Reading these in the 3 languages. Not perfect, but I think also not too bad considering I hardly speak the other languages anymore. So I hope you enjoyed it. Take away what messages you will. We had a very caring and loving mother, concerned for her little cow and her little bull. And what makes you happy? We see Ferdinand just loved to sit there and smell the flowers. He didn't care about other pressures of the world. He was doing what was true to him, and not doing the normal, the quote unquote normal thing that everybody does. He's kind of taking his own path. And if you're here on this channel, you know all too well what that means. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and pick a little bonus card. Let's see what we're gonna get. Oh, I'll just, I'll just mix them around like this. And I'm going to go with this one in the back. All right, let's see what we have. I'll put it over here by the candle. And it says, sorry about the camera work, if it's a little shaky. Am I honoring my knowing? Oh, and look at that. This is very apropos to the book. So instead of a little bull, we have a deer. And am I honoring my knowing? And we've got a little wreath with flowers in it. And it's a white-tailed deer. Trust. So I am going to relate this to the book. So the trust here is trusting oneself. And I'm going to take my little pointer out here. Hang on, my little sassafras sassafras root wand here. Okay, so I like the way that this white-tailed deer is staring us very direct, very straight and true, and connected straight down into its own self. We've got a beautiful ring around the crown, so it just shows and emphasizes further that this deer knows who it is and trusts in the divine, that perfect circle, that circle of life representing that higher divine divinity, and it's around the crown chakra. So I would say this white-tailed deer is honoring its inner knowing, is absolutely trusting in itself and trusting in the divine and connecting it all together to make this beautiful, wonderful whole. Okay, and that's about all I'm going to say for now. I hope you enjoyed this interesting and different reading, and wish all of you, as I always say, here we go, let me move this around, tremendous peace and love to you, tremendous peace and love to everyone you meet. Just shine out that extra love over the entire earth right now. We are all human beings. We are all neighbors. And as the golden rule says, love your neighbor like yourself. Love yourself first so you can love others. And remember, that's what we're really here for. And don't believe the hype. Don't believe some false stories. And even if there are some real stories, do not let yourself be lowered by hate nor fear. You are the light, which, just shines out and moves everything out of your way and transmutes it and alchemizes, pretty much just transforms any of the darkness back into light where it belongs. All right. So for a more loving, harmonious world, which is the goal, at least in my mind, that's what I'm envisioning. I hope you envision something like that or similar, too. All right, everyone. Tremendous peace and love to you. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.